What's up, Jay? Can you hear me?
I got it. Yeah, I hear you.
All right, man. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Make sure we are live on both platforms, and we'll go. All right, guys. Hey, we're live. This is Mike with my real estate dojo. I'm very excited to have my honor student Jay. He just recently came into the Alchemy Stones. He texted me a couple of days ago, said he made a $26,000 check, and he's going to Hawaii. Well, Jay, welcome to the dojo, man. How's your day going?
Well, it honestly it's been a little bit stressful today, but it's real estate, you know. That's real estate.
That's right. You're going to go up, you're going to go down. The most important thing is just to continue going forward and have faith and believe in yourself. Um, as most of you guys know, I don't script anything. Jay, have we talked about this before we start? We haven't.
This
I,
is all my.
that's right. I just went live before you even got on here, and the purpose is because I don't like to be scripted. I just like to free free flow. So first of all, let me take my hat off to you for your success, man. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I feel awesome. It's really been the best year since I've been in real estate. And I mean, it just kept going, man. I was like, I got another deal. Other people in the business too. I'm working with other people in the business, so it just seems like things are going good, and I want to continue going that direction.
Absolutely, and I'm very proud of you, man, for keep pushing, dude. So look, I got a couple of questions for you. I know some of these people want to know how did you find this deal? Okay, so what kind of marketing did you do to find this deal that you made a $26,000 check from?
So this was a vacant house. It was a foreclosure, I guess you could say. And so um, I pulled the list from the title company. I pull a list, right? I get the source of my list, and there's different things that I do. Um, some because there's nobody home at the house, so I have a way to find the phone numbers, which you also help me with. You can different things you can
So so
text flash.
let me stop you right here because you're giving a lot of the secrets up to the recipe. So that's good. That's good. But so simply put, I give you a revenue to find the leads for free, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Totally for free. Where other people pay for
Right.
that data, correct? Or don't even know what the data
Yes.
is. Totally for free because I use imagination. I believe in imagination. Then you got the data for free, then you scrubbed it to a technique that I show you, what I call advanced skip tracing, where you find the seller's information, their contact information, their social media, and so on. Correct?
Right, right, right.
And then from what you were saying is you used a couple of techniques that I show you to generate traffic for pennies on the dollar, right?
Correct,
All right,
correct.
and so they called you, right? And from the day they called you, how long did it take you to go put it under contract, Jay?
Well, the situation with this is we got a hold of a family member. We didn't get the seller first. We got the family member, and then we had get the family member on board. The seller was living with the family member, so we
Ve-
had to go through we had to go through kind of different things, but we did get in front of the seller eventually.
okay, guys. Now most people will just go to that house. It's vacant. They're never gonna do that advanced training that I show you to find their family members. And if they know how to do it, then they're not gonna put the sweat equity in like you are to go ahead and jump through 3 or 4 hoops to talk to the family members, call them, leave voice messages, play phone tags, and all this, troubles that it has, right?
Right, 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 right. Exactly.
Okay, so this is
So it wasn't an easy one, but we did reach out. We got to hold the right person.
that's right. I mean, when you say it wasn't an easy one, it wasn't like brain science or physics or chemistry. It was just multiple steps, right? Like multiple processes you had to do.
Right,
And if you were willing to put the work in, you got the deal, right?
right.
So the family member that you got a hold of, Then they convey it to the seller to give you a call, or they just give you the seller's information. What happened?
Well, the seller was living with that family member.
I see. Very nice.
So it was really two people we had to go through to get to this person. The seller was working a lot of hours, and we just had to show up. We had to physically show up. We didn't. It wasn't like everything was done over the phone. We had to physically show up when the person came from work, and
Okay, let's pause it right there. That's a really good point. Okay, like at Mr. Investor, when I buy houses, I have so many different filters set up that I never go to people's houses. I get all the deals over the phone. Okay, when I first started, it wasn't the same. Now I teach my students it depends on your hunger level and your motivation and the goals you have. You have to do different things, but you just didn't go to any Bob and Jose's house because they called you, right? No, right? You you were able to filter them out, right? Did you use the Ninja phone script to filter them out and gauge their motivation?
right, right.
Do
Yeah,
you,
today was a high motivation on that person.
and that script was very helpful because it lets you know if they're motivated or not, correct?
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. So now you called the seller, you talked to their parents, and I mean not their parents, but the family member. They live with them.
It actually was their parent.
Oh, there you go. Hey, it's psychic. Very nice.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
You got that one.
So now go forward. Sorry to interrupt you because I want to make sure people understand what it really takes to make it happen
Right.
without the fluff, dude. Okay. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry about that.
So, so those systems are the way to get to that individual. We finally got to the individual, and they were at the table, right? We're actually inside the property, and well, they're not the property. We're at the family's house.
Right.
So, but again, it was high motivation. The foreclosure was coming very close.
Gotcha.
And we had to react. We couldn't leave that house without a contract because, I mean, we left. You would have lost your house.
So how many days was it to the courthouse? Like 2 or 3 days, a couple of weeks? What do you say?
It was about a week.
About a week. So you didn't have a lot of time.
No, we told her straight up that, we want to help her, but if we leave, if it takes another few days, I mean, you don't have no guarantee that you're gonna be able to get out of your situation.
Okay, now that's very good. So you knew that you had to act fast. You knew that the house was on fire because they're about to foreclose on it, and you're still willing to run into the house, into the fire, spend your time, spend your gas to go meet with it, put it under contract. Try to find it. You didn't give hope up, like, oh man, this is too hard, or I knock on the door and the house is empty and I'm gonna stop there. No, dude, right? You did.
Yeah, we knocked on the vacant house. I mean, besides the system, we still took further steps. To get to that person, right? Because it's not about, yeah, the system will do its job, which you taught me, but sometimes you just have to do a little bit more, and that's what conveyed to the seller that we did all this just to get to you, and we're here now to help you out. So we need to do something today. And it wasn't hard at the end, right? Because they liked us, but just to get to that person, things seem to be a little bit easier than how I used to do it before. So I mean, the system is great for that.
That's right. I mean, it's kind of like getting the ball if you play soccer all the way to the goalie. It was very hard to get in there, but when you got that opportunity to score it in, it was a lot easier, right? Like, right? So
Right.
now, so let's talk about the property. What kind of deal was this? Was this like a fix and flip? Was this one with a lot of equity? Was this one that you sell to a retail buyer? What kind of deal was this? Was it a wholesaling deal or a fix and flip?
It was a wholesale deal. So basically, it wasn't in the greatest area, but because the area that wasn't that great, it was built back in the boom, so the house was newer than most of the houses. So what I brought to the table was a certain type of buyer, and there's certain investors that don't like that area, but I brought a certain type of buyer, and we wholesaled it, or we did an assignment, I guess you want to say. We wholesaled the deal.
Okay, very good. And so instead of doing a double closing where it costs you a lot of money, you just say, you know what, I'm just going to do an assignment, and I'm not gonna have the deed come into my name. I'm not gonna pay for the double closing costs, and you're just assigning to another end buyer. Now, the person that bought it, was it like a realtor? I mean, not a realtor, a retail buyer, or was it like a fix and flip investor?
Buy and hold.
A buy and hold. Okay,
Like to keep the, because the lower end areas are like for rentals.
beautiful, beautiful. So your exit strategy was, hey, I'm gonna sell it to a buy and hold, a guy like me that just rents it out and wants massive cash flow, right? Now, what kind of condition was the house in? Did it need a lot of repairs or no?
Yeah, it got vandalized in the duration of the seller wasn't living there no more.
Okay,
So they pulled the the sheetrock on two rooms. They pulled the people that got in from the streets pulled it down. They knocked some holes into there was just clothes everywhere because again it was vandalized. So people in that area, it's very easy for people off the streets just to start living there. You know, so there was
absolutely,
fires everywhere.
absolutely. So,
But it wasn't pretty. You know.
what do you think? Like, 10 grand, 20 from you talking about, it sounds like at least a 20 grand more or less.
It was because it was built newer. It was like in the 2000s.
Oh, I see.
It was very ugly, but it wasn't a heavy rehab. It was probably 15 or so because it's just the trash. It was all trash, you know. So it looks like you can't see certain things. But once the person that goes into the person to buy, they see all. It's just it's sheetrock. The AC was still good. The seller was living there for at least probably 3-4 years.
So it was one of those things that look really scary and ugly, but it really wasn't that expensive to fix, right?
No, it wasn't a high end, but I mean, the person that walks in there is like, oh, look at that. There was stuff on the floor from animals, you know, and so it kind of probably will.
so, so,
Dissuade some people.
so let me get this. From the very start, it was difficult in the sense that not because it was hard, because you went and knocked on the door, no one was there, right? Then you had to research and find the relatives. Then you had to talk to them and have them persuaded to meet the seller. Then you talk to them, meet the seller. You went up there, talked to the seller, went and looked at the house. It was like, oh my God, it looked pretty ugly that, you do. So all this time, it looked like defeat to many people, right? Like, oh, there's only 5 more days or 7 more days before it forecloses. The house is chaos. So many people, like myself, when I first started and I got deals like this, I was just like, nah, this is not what I wanted to do because I didn't have any experience. I didn't know I could wholesale this out. This was like 2007, 2008 when I had just started it out. Okay. Now you see that you can make $26,000 just selling a house like this to someone that actually knows what they're doing instead of just somebody on the MLS or Craigslist. Does that make sense?
Right.
Now, how did you find this end buyer to buy your house? What did you do? What did you do to market it?
Well, that actually came from another investor that I work with closely. He specializes in Latino, a specific type of buyers. I didn't really find that buyer.
Gotcha.
My guys were turning it down. So I'm like, okay, what are you you got a guy for this? I mean, it was in one day. I seriously, it was in one day. He called, ready to go see it, went to see it. He says, it's done. He says, I'll take the earnest money. That's
because it was a good deal, right? If it's a good deal, people just make. Okay. The other thing I want you to understand is what you just said kind of reflects why you're a champ and why at the dojo I only take champs. Because you were able to make a decision to get into the Alchemy course without anyone calling you, without anyone selling you. Okay, I allow you to leap off the roof without not knowing what's going on, pay a big sum of money, and have faith in yourself that this is going to work. And same thing with that in-cash buyer, right? He saw it that day. He made the decision. He didn't have to go talk to his mother, his cousin, his baba. He didn't have to do any of that because real investors like yourself and the ones that I only take in the dojo, that's why I don't get on the phone and I try to close anyone, because if you can't make a decision for yourself, your odds in entrepreneurship, in real estate investing, in anything decreases significantly. And you just showed me that the in-cash buyer, the guy that had the money to buy this property, to fix it up, to turn it into rental properties, and he probably had more rental properties, he had the same exact characteristics as you and the people that I let into the dojo. And that's why I don't ever get on the phone and try to sell anybody. Everything's done into the funnel, because if you make a decision on your own, the likelihood of success is so much more than if you can't make a decision. You need a salesperson to sell you on your dreams, and I don't want to sell you on your dreams, right? So let's take a break on this idea, and well, look, now let me ask you: when that guy made a decision, did you get the assignment fee instantly, or did you go to the title company to do the assignment fee after the closing?
Everything was done in title company.
Okay, very, very good. Okay, so you didn't do like a table closing or anything like that, correct?
I don't know what that is.
Just like when you sign everything, at Starbucks or a kitchen table
Oh, no,
or at the
no.
office.
Everything goes to the title company here in the state I'm in.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, and so the other part you were talking about is because you network with other people, they knew people that bought your inventory, right? That's right. So that's an important thing, that knowing people, or networking people, they can move your properties or could bring you deals or the referrals. Correct?
Exactly. And now that my confidence level's up, where your confidence level goes up,
That's right.
people will hear that on the phone, other people in the business,
That's
and I got
right.
people calling me, Jay, you got another one? Jay, you got another one? And I'm like, slow down, man.
That's right. That's right. And, and,
It's
and,
really focused.
and that's why I wanted to bring you on the show, guys. You're in Arizona, correct? What state are you
Yes.
in? What Phoenix.
Arizona.
Guys, if you're a new,
It's a tough market, man. It seems like a tough market, but there's deals out there. There's deals out there.
especially like for example, this system that you talked about, this deal you got, you probably spend less than $1 or two generating that lead through some of the systems, right? Did you spend hundreds, or how much did you pay for this lead, do you
No,
think?
no, it was just, no, I didn't pay. So I'll give you an idea, okay? If I do direct mail, is it just example? It costs me to go through a certain company a certain amount. So let's just say in Phoenix you have to do at least 2, 3, 4,000 letters or postcards, right? It's going to cost so much. Let's say the dollar amount's 1,000, right? But the system, I'm going down below 100. So that's a huge amount of money I can dump back into the system, where it's costing less, it's more cost effective, economical, and this is going to produce more deals, right? So I mean, when I was excited, man, I mean, I'm telling you, you remember when you first, I was like, I gotta get this, and I was sick. Before I talked to you, you remember I was sick, right?
That's right.
I was getting over sick. So I saw the huge value in that, and I've been spending money on direct mail, and I may not have to do direct mail ever again, except for
In the funnel, down the rabbit hole, but not to generate, all this stuff that most people hear at REI clubs, these books, they're great, but they cost a lot of money to generate traffic. And what I've taught you and what you just said is you use some of this stuff and generated high quality leads where you made $26,000 for maybe $1 or two, right? Where it didn't, you didn't have to spend thousands. I mean, let's say if you spend $100 and you divide it in every lead, then it probably became $1 or two or less, like a couple of pennies. Because how much did it really cost you that hit that person? Like 7 cents, 10 cents?
I didn't go down to the penny, man. I just.
But did you?
I know you want to close it. That's all I was on my head. I want to close the deal. So like, it cost me gas money, right?
That's right.
And I had to go. So I mean, so if there's some gas money, but that's not a lot of money. I mean, I'll drive 40 miles across town. If I find somebody like that again, I don't care if it's traffic or I'll drive all the way down there.
Absolutely.
Right, but I already have the systems where it's showing me this person is motivated, is really a distressed seller.
Yeah, because I was gonna tell you, we talked before. You're not driving into everyone, because now you learned that your time is valuable, is so valuable, and you're only meeting with motivated sellers. Like I showed you, right? You're not just meeting anyone. You're not driving 40 minutes for anyone, but only motivated, right? If they're motivated, absolutely drive there. But not every Sam and Jose that wants to sell their home. You're not meeting them, right?
Right, exactly. I don't meet everybody. No, it's counterproductive to do that. I did that when I first started, way back when I first started. Yeah, I was all desperate to get anything, right? But now I got this. I can filter people out. I'm only looking for this type of person right here. And it's funny that when you make an assignment, or even if you double close, when you make a certain amount of money, and then you make this amount of money, you don't want to make that money again. You want to make this amount, right? So like my mindset even changed, because now I see this is what I want to do as far as I can consistently. I know guys that are doing what do you call it? What most people in the industry think you should make, 5 to 10,000, right? It's not making less, but it's like your mindset changes, shifts. Like, this is what I want to keep doing. Like, will it happen every single time? I can't guarantee that, but I know that it happened already. So now that happened, I'm gonna get another one, right? That's just how your mindset works. So I mean, so the other part that's positive is that again, that confidence, everything that we went through. It's just I know it's gonna change the going forward how I'm gonna be in real estate. So that's because of the system.
Man, and that confidence of success is going to lead into you helping other people. And that's why I want you to get on my show, because if you guys are new and you have some deals in that area, send it to Jay, okay? He can do deals, he can help you do deals. If you're a professional acquisition manager in that area and you don't have deals, because I just showed Jay in 2-day course how to generate a shitload of leads, excuse my language, for pennies on the dollar. And now he can pay you a lot of money to go and put these deals on the contract, right, Jay? So if you're
I'm looking for that right now.
that's right, because I showed Jade how to harvest a lot of leads without spending thousands of dollars traditionally what other people do through my imagination. And so there's an opportunity for you if you're a professional. Now he doesn't want any rookies. Do you want any rookies? And tell them about this, because part of the course that you came into, I analyzed your business, which wasn't part of the Alchemy Stones. It was part of my $25,000 coaching, and I saw a lot of different loopholes that wasn't really part of this course, but I went the extra mile and took a couple hours and I identified them. And one of them was what were you doing that this one little tip you text me made a big difference in your game?
Oh yeah, so when you're at a certain part in your career, and you have new people, the new people are real needy, because I was like that when I got started, and they suck up a lot of your time, right? Because you think they're gonna go out there and get a deal. Sometimes they could not. So what I did was I controlled the people that I'm talking to. So now that I'm not in conversation, I had a guy just call me right now on my phone, and I don't want to talk to those people a lot, not to be offensive, but I just want to progress, and I can't progress when somebody is needy. Once I kind of move that away from my focus, then I'm able to just kind of hone in on what I'm supposed to do, right? I keep the wheels turning. So that was one of the good advices that you gave me, and I'm really appreciative of that. And the other one was that I need to leave more offers on the table. You just never know. Even if you go to an appointment, for whatever reason, people do some crazy stuff. That offer sits there, or the other offers that you send them. They could call you the next day. They could call you the next day, whatever the situation is. So like the advice that you gave me was awesome. So you gave more value. The system has a ton of value, but you get more value, and they just helped me again with my mindset.
Because man, I just want you guys to win, and if I didn't want you guys to win, if this was something for me to make money, I would get on the phone and sell people. Which did I sell you, Jay? Did anyone call you to sell you? You went online, you went through the funnels, you paid, right? That's why we're talking. That's why you made a $26,000 check, and that's why you're a winner, because you can pull on the trigger by yourself. And many places they want to sell you, put it on your credit card, and I want you to be successful, okay? And that's why I do this. So when I take someone on, it's more than just taking their money. Now let's talk about where I had your money, right? You paid me a couple of $1,000, and then now you're a great guy, and I just want to bring it out here where I was going to give all your money back and say, Jay, I don't want to work with you because you had a difficulty getting to a fast internet, correct? Right. So
exactly. So the schedule. You set a schedule. You stick to your schedule. So that's another thing too. So like whenever I do things, I want to give myself enough time. So if I have an appointment with another investor or networking, whatever, I'm serious, so I show up early, right?
That's
And that was
right.
one of the things that your motto is you got to show up. If you want to be successful, you got to show up, you got to not show up on time, you got to show up early. So I made that mistake because of a little difficulty here and there. I told you, I was sick, but that's no excuse. I mean, people have gotten sick and done things, in different things in their life, and so like that was one thing that's important. If a student wants to go through the system, you're serious about helping them and showing the system, but they got to have a certain attitude or a certain way of looking at things if they really want to progress.
That's right.
If you don't have that view perspective,
They're not going to win. And that's why that I didn't want to. I was going to refund your money. Like, who do you know, honestly, that you paid them thousands of dollars and they have it for weeks, and they say, you know what, man, just because you couldn't make it on time for this thing, and I know you have struggles going on because I had it too. I had just came from Las Vegas. I was living on the floor, and I had to go somewhere to have fast internet. So I was like, just like you, but I did it right. So because I want to win, and I didn't want to take your money because I think if you had that mindset, and I took your money, you wouldn't learn this lesson. And so it was tough for me, dude. Who wants to give their money away, right? No one, dude. But I said, you know what? I am not being a leader. If I don't give his money back and let him realize that, dude, if he continues doing this, you're gonna be robbing your success. And by me doing that, okay, and there was a consequence to that because you did that. And I asked you to pay another $500 or something extra. And not because I needed money, because I needed to make sure that you understood that if you did X, there's consequences and you have to pay the price. And when you said you want to pay the price, I said, you know what? I'm only going to charge you 250 versus the 500 because you got to pay the price. And if you weren't going to pay the price, I was going to give your money, and not because I don't have love for you, because I really have love for you, and I want you to be successful. And I don't want to take your money if I don't think you have the right mindset, or any of my students have the right mindset. That's why I don't sell you. And because you were willing to pay the price, because you were willing to pay the extra $500, which then later became 250, I knew you were going to win because that's what was required. Because of that, you came and changed your core perception. Like, hey, sometimes I'm late in life, right? And that doesn't look really good. And if I want to be my dreams, not only do I got to show up there early, I got to get up maybe 30 minutes early, 45 minutes early, go and visualize, close my eyes, see myself doing the deal in my mind, learn, drive around the area, know the comps before I go in there instead of me running there and late. My energy's down, like I'm sitting in traffic, right? And so the point of the story is, by you making a mistake and willing to pay the price of your mistake shows what kind of character you have, and that's why we are talking. That's why you made a $26,000 check, guys. And same with my character, because even though I had your money free and clear, I say, you know what, man, I want my students to be successful. This is the devil saying, here's the money, here's the ego saying, man, just take it, dude, just take it, man, just take it. Who cares? He's late 50 minutes, and that was my soul saying, no, dude. I'm gonna do him injustice, and I don't want that. I want him to win, dude. And I didn't tell you that, but that's the two mindset. And I said, you know what, man? I want him to win, and I want me to win, and I can't be a true leader by just bound down to the money, because I'm doing your soul and my soul an injustice, and I didn't, dude. And then you're willing to pay the price. I give you half of it, and then that's why we're talking, dude, because you understand the importance of changing, understanding the importance, like paying the cost. Like you went to the seller's house, they were not there. You went to the families, you went to the house, you had to do all the steps. You understand the importance of doing these steps. Am I correct, Jay?
yes, you are totally.
All right, Jay. So what is your future goals, after taking this class? What do you think this is going to help you with your business? What are you trying to do in the future?
Well, obviously, one of the main purposes was to have deal flow. In other words, consistency, which I didn't have. I would catch fire and then drop and then maybe sometimes catch fire, maybe get a deal here and there. So I want consistency in my deal flow. And I want that, right? What you're talking about, I want a bigger assignments or bigger
Fishes.
profit margins.
That's right.
And so I want to work with people that think the same way, I mean, sometimes you get in that part, like you said, I want to help this guy out, but he could hurt you because, he doesn't understand you're at a different level, it's a different level. You can't spend an hour on the phone. I told one guy, I said, look, you want to go go find a guru or something. You want to find someone else. I can recommend you people, but you're not going to be willing to pay that cost. So like I can't spend that time with you. So the people I work around with, the deal flow, and then the freedom of being able to um, put more VAs and people in place where I don't have to be putting all this time, these tasks that I shouldn't have to be worried about, and that way I can spend more time with my family, take trips, which we're gonna go in May.
Woo woo.
First time I with my wife for 2 years, man.
Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I've been talking for 2 years.
Very nice.
So she's excited about that.
Hey, when you were gonna invest this money into this, I'm sure your wife was like, "Man, don't do this," right? Right?
Yeah.
That's right, dude. Now, what does she say about this, man? I mean, like you, dude, like like you put two in.
Go for it,
That's right, like.
So I'm changing my wife's viewpoint. Also, that I didn't. Sometimes we don't realize it. The people around us, even family, like I have my father-in-law says, "Hey, did you get a check? Hey, did you get a check?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course. I mean, that's why I'm in the business, So like, he doesn't ask me questions about let's go watch. They're all Latino, right? Stuff on TV. Like he wants me to be successful, but inside I can tell when he saw my struggles, like maybe he's not. Maybe he has to. I mean, sometimes he would tell me, you should go back to your position you had at the companies to work for. But it wasn't because it was me. It was just because he didn't care for you. But now that they see me doing this, that's the first thing. He just, hey, did you sell the house?
Amen. What did you do before you got into the real estate, Jay? If you don't mind sharing with people.
I actually I was a pizza delivery guy.
Yes, sir. Wow. Hey, I deliver pizza. My dad owns a pizza place after selling ice cream for like 13 years out of the ice cream truck in the hood, dude. Okay, he got robbed 5-6 times gunpoint. No lie. Okay, so.
Yeah, it's not pizza a few times. Still have pizza a few times.
Have you got robbed before selling pizza?
I didn't get my money robbed, but I robbed my pizza in the back of my truck.
I see.
Do the guys that are asking questions on YouTube and Facebook,
And then
ask them off the phone?
I came to Phoenix to study a career in computer networking, which is fixing computers, which it was good. I just got tired of having a boss, And it took me a little while to let that go. I liked some of the places that I worked, but it's just 40 hours a week, man. 40, 50 hours a week. Is
traffic, right?
Commuting, just.
Yes, sir, no, sir, right?
If you don't like your boss, you got to put up with it,
That's right.
So now I'm in this business, and obviously I had my struggles. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. The people out there, they got to understand that I struggle myself, in this business. But the thing of it is that this system has helped me in multiple ways. Everybody's the system, what you've done, the stuff that you've done for advice and certain things you've seen what I was doing. And it's funny that you just asked me questions. You didn't really see in my computer where I'm doing this and that. You just asked me a few questions, and you figured out right away what was needed and what I was doing. So I find that really interesting. That am I just selling your program? I'm giving you all the things besides that to help you progress in what you're doing. So I totally recommend to the individuals, if they want to seriously, like you said, you're looking for serious people. Do this, they're gonna see a big difference in what they're doing if they've been new or if they have experience.
Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate it, man. And I think because I never had a job. I've been an entrepreneur since high school and been in the trenches, and that's why like everything I showed you how to do was for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the marketing, free or almost for free, like 10 cents, 7 cents, 5 cents versus $1 or $2, like bandit signs.
It blew my mind. It blew my mind. What I was doing before, I'm like, wow. I mean, even saving on marketing, even saving on that, and I'm filtering out people without talking to every single seller that calls, the typical direct mail.
That's right. And a lot of people think this Alchemy Stones is just like 1 or 2 landing pages and a video. Dude, that is just the tip of the iceberg because it's basically a franchise system that I basically give you, and on top of that, I evaluate your business and batch your characteristic because not only did I set up the alchemy stones, I evaluate your business, but I also went into your core personality, the things that are not part of the business, that I had to be a mean guy and, like, risk you hating me and telling you, look, man, and because I'm a Mr. No Fluff, I want you to succeed, dude. Because listen, man, like when I used to wrestle in high school, my coach always made me wrestle with the hardest guys in the room, and they were always giving me. I was very, very tough. But end of the day, I was become a good wrestler. I never got pinned, and that's why when I take you guys in, I want to make sure I am not just like, yes sir, no sir, and I want to give it to you straight, and because I want you to succeed. I want to be a life changer in your life. Jay, I don't want the money. That's why I was willing to give it to you. When I tell people that, they don't believe it, right? They think I'm trying to do this just for the money.
Yeah, it's probably because of the industry. There's so many gurus, seminars, so many things out there, and just in general, people itself are always lacking to pull the trigger. You know, the society we live in. It took me a long time, right? It took me a long time. That explains because I worked 9 to 5 for so long. My parents taught me if you work hard, that's what I was brought up to think, right? And there's nothing wrong with that if you go do that, if you want to do that for the rest of your life. But I just wanted more, I wanted something more. And it's funny that I saw your YouTube videos before, but I didn't hear the funnel system. I heard different things, and then I stopped. And then it's one of those things where you just all of a sudden you're looking at these videos again. And then I heard the funnel system. I'm like, wait a minute, what's this funnel system? I feel like that's something I need. So you still building rapport with people because of the videos. So it's not like if it's just one video you send them, it's not like it's one time or you're trying to call them. That's not it. So there's so many people in the society that obviously they mistrust things anyways. But if they want to grow, I've seen people pay a lot of money for other seminars and they get stuck. It's over because you got different ways to draw in these leads. So like, I'm only working a few of them.
That's right. So I give you like 13, 14, and you're probably just working like 2 or 3 of them, right?
I gotta focus on one, and then when I'm getting that one going, and focus on the next one, and I may only need 2 or 3. I may not need all the ones that you have there.
And the other ones are going to come in place. The other ones are going to come in place when you have virtual assistants. Now, do you have virtual assistants set up already?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think it's different from what, because you have a course there too, but I do have virtual assistants that do the data entry stuff.
Okay, the back end work, very good.
Back end work, and so you give another video that there has to be someone who
does the front end work. Like
Framework.
you're not at the point where you have a VA filtering for you or giving the soft offers or cold calling for you, right? You just have the back end VA.
Data entry.
That's
So they're building that list for me.
the data mining. They're data mining for you, just like I showed it to you.
Which is a lot of time, but that's taken off. But I still need other parts that eventually will come into place, and it's a journey. So like, I can't expect it to happen in a week.
No,
Sometimes
dude.
I'm getting busy, right? I told you I was getting busy, and I get stressed out. Like, oh my God, I gotta take care of this deal, and I gotta do this. So like, I didn't 100% put it aside. But when you have a deal on the table, you gotta get that deal and you gotta close it.
That's right.
And so really, the reason why we're talking is because now I find some time to do this, and I'm trying to hold back for a few more days so these guys leave me alone and I can just kind of focus on doing a few more things. But man, when the deal is there, the deal is there. So I mean, and so that's just part of growing. I mean, you told me that. That's just part of growing. You get other parts working, and that bicycle illustration you said. I'm turning one wheel, but I got to turn the other one.
That's right.
So I'm kind of turning one.
That's right.
I'm not really turning one, so.
But you still move forward even with one, right? That's the whole. That's the whole deal. Like you just made 26,000. So now to get Buffalo moving, you need to have the whole team that's basically generating leads, taking calls, filtering them, Okay, and I made a video for you that says 100K a month. Did you see that on YouTube? I made that for you. And
That's what I was talking about. There's
there you go.
what's that for you? The person what did you call that person? The assistant?
That's right. Your assistant, your right hand man. You.
And they do everything. They cover everything. They kind of like manage everything.
That's right. That's
you
right.
got the acquisitions, and then you got they call it here in Arizona dispositions, where they sell the deal for you.
That's right.
So I mean, like I still got a lot to do.
That's right. Now, do you have my VA course?
I haven't purchased it yet.
Gotcha. That would probably be your next bet, because what it seems like right now is the marketing's working really good. People are calling you, right? And you're having success. So now more real estate investors want to reach out to you and be like, hey, help me out. Let me work for you, or let me give you a lead, or what have you, which is great news. So the next step is to get other people to take your phone call. So you're not the one that actually receives the ball when they call in. They're filtering them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I have a person who will take the calls, who will do the calls for me. It's somebody local, but I gotta see how far they go. You know, it's just one of those things where I prefer a VA, but I mean, you know, you got what you have, and he's doing okay. He does follow up. So I mean, you know, I'm doing something with it, right? Because I can't spend time on the phone with everybody.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's going, man. That first wheel is going. The second wheel we'll start moving too. And so.
And it's called inertia. Like once the thing starts moving, and that's what, look, in any business, when I started my moving company, right, the very first thing was hard to get customers. Once I got the leads in, then it was hard to find movers, right? And it's kind of like what you're doing, the help that's going to render the services to people, right? So in business, there's usually two wheels, and to get them both work in harmony is pretty difficult, right? Even if you're Microsoft, or even if you're Amazon, to get everything to work perfectly in harmony, both wheels, is extremely hard, Jay.
Yes, of course.
Now,
Bill Gates overnight. It took him years to get there. You know, it took him at least about 15 years to become a recognized Microsoft giant. So like, it could take someone a year. They could join your program. It could take them a few months, like me, but it could be new, or it could be someone that has like 4 years, and it could be longer. We don't until that person decides, goes forward and serious about it, and things start to change. Then things start to. Then you see a difference. Like you said, the momentum or the inertia starts to move forward. So like that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I remember you text me like, that's a good problem to have. Like, that's not a good problem to have.
Hey, having too many leads is always a good problem to have, man. Like that's when you know you're gonna hit success. Because when I started my moving company, I had leads all over America, and I was just starting out. I didn't even have a truck, and I knew I had a good problem because I went to an attorney, and he said, "You know what? You have a good problem." And this is the old attorney that was about to retire. So I see myself right at what you're doing. You have more leads than you can handle. That is a good problem. Now, if you could go back and take this course again, would you do it again, or do you think it's, or it's
No,
not?
I do it again.
You can't.
Of course I do it again.
Do you think the money you invested in it was worth it?
No, it was. I thought there was a lot more value than what you actually, which was priced at, and you don't see that until you pay, and then you actually work on one-on-one with you, right, to get it all set up. You can't see it all until you're actually putting it together. Kind of like the old days, the Tinker Toys, or the like Legos. You have the whole entire like my nephews, right? I used to buy them Legos. They grew out of it, but like, here's the box, here's what it looks like, and they open up all the pieces, and they start putting it together, and it takes maybe a week, and then they build the whole little whatever it is, right? And it's like, wow, that's pretty cool.
That's right.
I'm missing a few parts. Where do they go? And so you try to find, and eventually you get it completed, and you see the results, but you can't see it until you put it together, and that's the same thing. So it's not that it had doubt, it's just I didn't see the whole thing until you put it together, and then I was just like, wow.
Well, one of the reasons is because I can't write, and so when I made that copy on the website, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't put in there. There's a whole lot. It's not a funnel. It's not just a landing page. It's basically a franchise system plus creative ways to generate tremendous amount of traffic for pennies or dollars on the token versus the traditional way. Not even a dollar, way less, like 10 cents or less, guys, not a dollar, okay, per lead, if you factor it all out. What do you need help with right now? So some of these students that are watching, if they want to join your force in Arizona, what do you need? Do you need some referrals? Do you pay referrals if they bring you some customers? Some people may.
Of course I do. Of course I do.
Absolutely. Hit up Jay if you know some people. Go ahead, Jay.
They're always gonna get, one thing that people know about me in this business that know me here locally is you will get paid. However you look at it, you gotta get paid because it's just a thing that if you work with me once, you do it again.
Dude, and I've vouched for this guy because he went paid me thousands of dollars without ever even picking up the phone. When he dropped the ball, he was willing to pay the cost to get it right, right? And that's character. No joke, guys. Okay, so if you have a deal in that area and you don't know what to do with it, or your family's in trouble, they're behind in payments, or going to divorce in Phoenix, Arizona, hit up Jay, and I'll put his contact information on the bottom of the blog, on YouTube, on Facebook, so they all get to see that. And he's gonna pay you handsomely on a referral fee. And if you're an expert, right, and you just don't have leads, you don't know what to do, Jay's gonna have a lot of leads. He's gonna pay you if you go out there and put the deals on the contract for him, right? Because Jay's working on becoming not the football player, not the quarterback, not the coach. He wants to be the franchisee owner of the football team, and so he has job positioning available for professionals only. He doesn't want new people. He's looking for people that new people. Bring him the leads. He's going to give you handsome money for the information. But if you have experience, but you can't generate a lot of leads, you're doing deals once in a while. Well, Jay's having an overwhelming of leads, and he doesn't know what to do. He's getting overwhelmed. He wants to work on his business, so you guys need to hook up with him, guys. Is that correct?
Exactly.
All right, Jay.
Exactly.
We have some questions. Do you mind answering some people's questions, or do you have to get out of here?
No, what time is it? I got my phone blowing up again, but let's see what time is it. They can wait.
All right, let's get some questions going. What do we have?
Okay. Francisco is asking, where can we get the script?
Okay, so Francisco was asking where did they get the script to gauge their motivation? Okay, you get that from myrealestatedojo.com, and it's called the Ninja Phone Script. Do you think that phone script was good?
It was very good.
Is it just like average phone script with everyone else asked, or no?
No, it has a few things in there I did not think of when I was actually filtering out sellers.
Dude, it has a lot of stuff that's psychologically encoded that when you ask it, like for example, when we ask for owner financing, we never use the word owner financing. We ask it in a way so psychologically put up that they can't, they don't get their guard up. They just answer a question, and if that says yes, you run out there and put it on contract, just like Jay says, he's willing to drive 40 minutes because that is a flag that says, look, these people are motivated, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Very, very good.
Next question. John on Facebook is asking, what did you spend on marketing and how many leads did you get?
Did you hear that question, Jay?
I don't know the full answer. All I know is that was the one that I focused on.
Okay, so what to help him answer that question is I give them 13, 14 pawns to find motivated sellers or highly motivated, and they're all for free.
Use one pawn.
He only used one pawn. He didn't use the other 13. So I give him like highly motivated pawns that no one fishes at, and then I showed him how to get this data, this lead, totally for free, not to pay a subscription, not to pay me. A lot of people pay for this data. I tell them, look, go here, go here and get it for free.
It paid 15, 20 cents to get list of addresses, right? And then you still got to pay for your marketing because I did that.
Okay.
I did that,
But now you're getting that stuff totally for free. Then I show you how to find their contact number, their social media, their email, all their phone number, all those ways that you can reach out to them that cost like 10 cents or less. And if you have a VA like I do, it costs like 0.0001 whenever you divide the total amount of time you spend for the VA, your phone dialer, and the data and the pawn is totally for free. And if you divide that and let's say it becomes so darn cheap. Now, the way he's probably doing it, he's probably spending like less than 10 cents for each lead generation, okay? If you're using one of these systems that we talked about, and you're only dealing with one pond instead of like many ponds, because this one pond has already flooded you with business, right?
Right.
So that's once you have both tires going and you have all these acquisition managers and you have your VAs and you're using all 13 ponds, I think, how many deals do you think you could do on a regular basis constantly? As many as your heart desires, dude, and how much hunger you have, right?
Yes, it depends how much you want to grow. It depends how big you want to get. It's all to you, man.
That's right. Because
There's people asking me, how many deals do you do, Jay? I can tell them what I just did, but I always ask them, you know what do you want to do? How many do you want to do?
that
If you're going to make money hearing me say I made this amount of deals, you're going to make money doing how many deals you do, right? Or if you partner with me, how do you want to look at that? So like, a while back, a person told me the same thing. He's like, what do you want, Jay? What do you want to do? It doesn't matter what I do. It matters what you do. Because at the end of the day, in a year passes and you don't do nothing, to progress or be part of the system, you're going to be in the same place. You're going to be in the same place, So, I mean, I know guys that do 2 properties a month. I know guys 1 property a month. I know guys that do 5. I know guys that do 20, But they're sending masses and masses of money to the marketing because they have that spending power. It's a big company.
but now you can compete. Now you can compete with those guys for 1% of the cost. Once you get both tires set up, and that's why I told you need that VA, because once you get both tires set up, you can compete with those guys when they're spending thousands of dollars, and you may be spending only $1,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm going? Because it's like 1% or even less than 1% to generate that kind of, and highly targeted.
I haven't even utilized your virtual assistance program, right? For what I'm doing already. But think about it. If for the people that are viewing this, once I get that, and I have time to put into it, because you got to spend time looking at these videos and just training, right? I don't have time right now, so like the time's gonna come when I'm gonna do that, and then what's gonna happen? I'm gonna basically equalize the side where I don't have to stress out so much, and they can do most of the work of what's left, right? So I mean, really, it doesn't really matter. You can do as many deals as you want.
Depends on your goal. Depends on your goal and your own drive. For example, like every day people are submitting leads on my website for my book, or they're submitting leads for the Alchemy Stone training course. Now, if I was in my 20s and I was very hungry, I would call every single one of these and try to convert them, right? But now I don't call anyone and I let them go through all the hoops and them to pay by themselves, because I know if they can't make a decision for themselves, their chances of entrepreneurship, investment is very, very slim, and I'm not here to sell them. So now I don't get every deal. I don't pick up the phone. I don't work every lead. I wait for them to hatch. So, but if you're willing to go drive out to every house, then you're gonna make a lot more money than someone that says, look, I'm not gonna go to every house. I need them to jump to 3 hoops, or I need them to jump to 2 hoops, or I need them to jump to 6 hoops. Okay, it all depends on your motivation, your energy, your responsibilities, and what you want to put into it. Does that make sense? Now, for me, I'm not gonna get up and do a deal unless I make 50 grand, 70 grand in wholesaling. I'm not gonna go do a deal for 3 grand or 5 grand. It's just not worth it for me to put that kind of energy. But when I was, young, when I was out of college living in my car, I would drive to BFE to deliver free boxes, to do a move that I didn't make any money, but all my crew made money, and I just made money to pay my truck. But I knew that in 3 months or 6 months, I could save enough money to start my business where I didn't have to work. Okay, so the other thing Jay pointed out, is this a fast thing? Like, you took the course, was it like 5 weeks later you made this check? How long? Okay, so
it took time. I won't say, hey, you'll do it in the next few days. I just know that it took a little time for me to adjust. It's like anything. It's like when you ride a bike, when you go do something for the first time, even though you knew that I have a certain side of the real estate that I knew already, but it's just like anything. If you're getting into something that you're not really familiar with 100%, then it takes time to get accustomed to that. I've gotten lost a few times, but I've been able to go back and retract myself and say, okay, this is what I need to do. and I gotta do this, and then all of a sudden I get a call from another investor, so I get interrupted. So I tried to, honestly, today, before we got this call, I was trying to put more attention to some of these things, and I got 3 or 4 calls, and that threw me off. It threw me off, and I got a bill on the table right now, because of that, and, when that closes next week, it's gonna make me money, so I mean, what do I gotta do? I gotta go to that first, and then I'll come back and spend more time.
And that's something we didn't talk about, because whenever you send me a text, say, hey, I got my $26,000 check, you said, well, do you have another deal in escrow and you have 3 or 4 more or something like that? This is not your.
When we talked, I had closed that one. I was closing another one. Let's see. I closed one last week. It wasn't a big one, but they're not. Some of the deals are coming from other investors. I'll be honest, but still, it's a regular thing. It's a regular thing. Today actually was today Thursday or Friday? Today's Thursday. So tomorrow's Friday. We should be closing a deal tomorrow. But that was it went past the time that we expected for title to close. But it's flowing.
The tires, the front tires moving.
I got 3 people looking for me right now. So it's really nice. I'm really happy that where I'm at right now. But I do want us to continue to progress, and I believe that if you have I wake up early.
Be on time. Be early.
I don't watch as much TV as I used to.
Beautiful.
I try to read some books, and so it's everything. It's everything that I'm actually experiencing right now. That it's really nice, but I got to keep it going. Gotta keep it going.
Jay, NUL, man, I'm so proud of you. Is there any other questions on there?
Yes. So, Sloppy Bukaki wants to know if we're starting from zero, what course should we start with first? Do you suggest having a few months of money saved up to pay for the VAs, or do you suggest diving in, no safety net?
Okay, so that's a very good question. The guy says if you're starting at zero and you don't know what to do, should you hire VAs or should you just jump in? No. And what course should you buy? So to answer question number 1, the course, if you're new in real estate, you need the mother course. It's basically, I talk about A to Z from the whole real estate, from owner financing, how to give cash offers, how to talk to people on the phone, how to negotiate everything. That's what you need. Now, I don't recommend people to buy the VA course if you're new, because what you're going to do is you're going to hire people. You don't know how to do the job task yourself, so how can you delegate the job task to other people if you don't know how to do it? And what you're going to do is you're going to create massive chaos. The Alchemy course is honestly for advanced people. Everyone that's came to this class has already done deals, but they just want to do deals on a consistent basis. They want to take their game to the next level. Because Jay was successful. Everyone. Now, I had just one student just came in, Pete, I love you, but he was the only guy that came in here. He just started from ground zero, okay? So he didn't get all the great value, even though it took me a couple of days to give him everything that Jay may have. So this course is for advanced people, guys. If you've done deals and you want to take your business to a franchise, you want to take your business to have multiple states, multiple locations, you want to have a real business where you have 10, 20 people working for you, you want to be the owner of the business instead of working your business, this is what this class is for. Now, it's a 2-day class, 8 hours long, 2 days, and it's not where I sit and talk. It's not where I sit. We actually work on stuff, right? We set up all your system in those 2 days. Isn't that right?
Right. You're all day. You got to have that whole day set aside. We went past. I think we went the second day. It went past. Was the first day went past a little bit, and so I mean, you didn't have to do that. I mean, but you did. So and there's a few other things that you also did for me, which I really appreciate. So
I try to save you as much money as possible, right? Like my video editation. We give you all the copywriting, like your emails, like would cost you thousands of dollars. Like for a 1-page professional written copyright, you paid exactly what I paid to my copywriter, which is $100. But imagine if you had to do 16 of those, that would have been $1,600, right? Imagine you had to do your text message and you had to do this, right? I've given you all that stuff because I truly want you guys to success. Your postcards, your PLM mass system, all that stuff is professionally written that converts if you use it. Right, Jay?
Exactly.
And in those 2 days, did you just come and listen to me talk, or were you actually roll up your sleeve in your computer and you were working? Which one was
I
it?
was working. I was working. You gave me certain things to do, and I completed it at that time. And then you checked up on me. Are you finished? Do you need help? Just like we're doing right now, we're talking back and forth. And so it wasn't just like I just sat down and saw you do everything. I actually was doing things with you and things that were giving me to do those 2 days.
Plus, we set up all your systems, like your videos, like your copywriting, your if you needed logos, if you needed voiceover, whatever it was, we set up all these things. So whenever the 2 days was over, you had a running system. So start where you stand. Now you could come back and do the best you can, and you could always improve it. But after 2 days, it's kind of like when Pete came into the course. He didn't have anything. He didn't have a logo. He didn't have anything. He just started. Now, in the 2 days, he has a running business with auto follow-up system, how to find leads, how to generate leads, negotiate all the stuff in there without he didn't have any of that. But you and many other students, you had already done deals. You were doing it for 4 years in this business, right? It's not like you were a rookie, you were dead broke. No, dude, you were doing deals. Why did you come with me, Jay, do you think?
Because you've been online for a while. You're already an entrepreneur. You're not at some seminar, and you pretty much created a ton of value what you were doing, and it basically was something really that I needed. What I needed in my business, it was something I really, really needed that was missing and where I was at. So I needed to make a decision to do something with this system that you have, and so it was perfect timing for what I needed at that time.
And I'm glad that you were able to take the information and implement it like majority of my students and have success, Jay. Any other questions?
Just one more. John Martins wants to know, how can I get in on the action as a Canadian?
Man, that's a really good question, because a lot of the other countries besides America, like Canada, dude, there's a big bubble coming in real estate. Okay, I think more than America, and so it's going to create a lot of opportunity just to buy people's properties by just taking over their payments, by doing owner financing, by doing short sales, and so it doesn't matter what country you're in, as long as they have a central banking system and they use fractional reserve. There's going to be a real estate bubble coming in many of the places, from Germany to Switzerland and Canada and America, and it's great opportunity for Jay, for me, and anyone that's watching my channel, because I've been letting you guys know that there's a bubble coming. And are you going to be buying a lot of properties in the bubble, Jay?
When it crashes,
That's right.
When it pops, it's gonna be houses galore when it pops. Because I already went through one. Even though I was real estate, and I was the victim. I was the one that lost my house. So now I'm waiting for that time, because when that time comes, I'm gonna be more prepared. Short sales. I have my people for short sales. If I have to get funding, I can get funding. I have investors that will lend to me, or people private money, whatever. So I have people that I'm setting up for that time. When they're retired, I want to use their money.
That's right.
Because there'll be more product out there. You got to take advantage of it. And that part passed. I thought I was the one that was in the crash, lost my job, whatever. And so that's gonna happen. It could happen again, because I'm in Phoenix. I'm not in some small town.
But this time you're gonna be riding the wave into the fire and being in control of your life, versus last time you were just an employee. You just had to go with the wave wherever it took you with the bankers and what they did, right?
Exactly.
Now you're gonna help people and you're gonna monetize. Now you're wholesaling, you're flipping paper, you're just putting what you're doing right now is, some people are new, is they don't know, you're marketing to motivated sellers. You're just putting it under contract, putting the paper, switching the paper, or signing the paper to someone, and then you're making a good assignment fee of $26,000. You're not even buying a property. You don't have to go get lending. You're not using your credit. But now, when the crash comes, are you gonna try to buy some rental properties and build cash flow and build wealth, or are you gonna still just wholesale only?
No, I'm gonna be switching up. I want to do subject twos, and I want to do, and
Beautiful.
obviously rent's gonna be good.
Man, great idea, Jay. Great idea. And I see you're gonna be building a lot of wealth in another 5-6 years when the crash hits. Okay, so right now you're wholesaling. You're building your capital, right, to do some of that stuff, right? If somebody's behind three payments, now you can come up with the three payments to cure the back payments of buy is subject to, correct?
Right.
And
Arrears, exactly.
and because you have because you've been wholesaling, you've been talking to sellers, you learn how to negotiate really good. You learn how to filter real good. You know how to give estimates on repairs. So when it comes for you to buy your own property, when it comes for you to cherry pick the best deal, you know what they are in the next crash, where you're going to be building wealth, doing what you do, and you already have 4 years of wholesaling, which is going to help you get the best deals, top cash flows,
Right.
deep discounts, and you already have a network of people because you already been doing deals wholesaling, and that's why I love wholesaling. That's why I love America, because you could do stuff, right? If you can't spell, I can't spell, I can't read. You know, I didn't even explain to Jay what the Alchemy course was 100% because I couldn't put my ideas on paper, but he trusted me, and now he's having success. So the point is, no matter what your lacks are in America, you can make money just using imagination, creativity, and that's what I want to drill home today is that I'm not smart. I have a lot of disabilities, you know, but if you're willing to take action in America, you can do stuff. You could say F the boss, and I'm gonna be my own boss, and you can be your dreams without hardly any money, dude. Without hardly any money, guys. Okay.
Right. And you could be honest. I've been honest with sellers. Sometimes they even know
Amen.
they're actually going to bring an investor because you got to be careful now. You can't hide stuff from seller. If they ask them questions, you got to answer to them. Sometimes they don't know I'm bringing a buyer. Sometimes they do. So like, there's other people in the business. They're not 100% honest, you know.
Amen.
And
God.
with them. And
I love you, man. I love you. I'm glad you said that because I was over exactly, and that's why I was gonna refund your money back. I wasn't gonna do because I didn't think for a second you had all the right tools, and I wanted to test you, and you showed that you did, and that's why we're talking. So, guys, a lot of times in this business, it's really easy to be shady and lie to the seller, or shady go behind the seller's back, or go behind the other investor's back, or go behind the new investor's back, and that has happened to me. And guys, can you get ahead like this? Yes. But can you win in life like this? Absolutely not, guys. Karma is a big thing.
it'll come back to you. It'll come back to you. Because I know some investors, when I got started, I know the names were out there, right? Names were out there. They're not in business no more. They get a lot of people wrong, man. They get a lot of people wrong. So you don't want to do that. If you don't get the deal, which that's not what we're doing, we're getting deals. Let's just say it came to that point where it didn't work out for you and the seller. Let's just say it didn't, right? I send them to the direction where they're supposed to go. I'm not going to be dishonest with them. That's not who I am. So I mean, that's the other thing. You're pretty upfront. You're pretty open. You know, I like working with people like that, even if they're teaching me. It's just I want to work with people like that. That's the type of people I want to look for.
Man, that's exactly right. That's the people I want to work with. You want to work with motivated, honest people, and you want to be honest. You want to be a straight shooter. And sometimes we lose money like that. And a lot of times I lose a lot of money, but I know that the Creator, the universe, is going to provide for me. I know we live in a world of unlimited resources, and we don't have to like be like this and push people under the bus. And I want to live and leave a better life for my kid, and the way to do it is by being a role model. Sometimes you lose, but end of the day we win. And I love what you just said, Jay, because I had forgot about this. That honesty, integrity gets you where you want to go in life. And I'm so happy for you, Jay. I am so happy for you. I'm so happy for your wife, and I hope you guys have a great time in Hawaii, guys. And I know
May. It's in May. It'll be in May. We got a month to go.
Hey. When you get up there, take some pictures and tag me on Facebook, guys. And when you do more deals, please let me know. I'm gonna leave Jay's contact information on the bottom of Facebook, YouTube. If you got deals, hit up Jay. If you're like a hard money lender, whatever, you might want to hook up with Jay because Jay's getting a lot of deals. And if you're a new student, Jay pays good referrals. And if you have experience acquisition, you're hungry. You don't do deals all the time. And Jay will provide you with a bunch of business, and I'm very confident that he's going to treat you right because he's a man of character. I wouldn't take him in if he wasn't. I don't work for money. It doesn't seem like he works for money, and I hope you don't work for money. And that's why I do my channel, guys.
Don't chase the money.
Don't chase the money, dude, because that's the devil. But be light. Be the light, right? Be the light, right? Like Jay's being the light. Now he's got knowledge. He's helping people to make money. Okay, I got knowledge, and I'm helping Jay make money. I'm helping you guys make money. Some of you guys made a lot of money without ever paying me, and I love you. If you made money, holler. Let me know that you made money. I don't want a piece of it. Do I want any piece of your money? No, dude. I just feel good for you, dude. That's it. And I want to motivate other people. And at the same time, if there's other people out there that don't have the skills you do, like they're professional acquisition managers, they need to hook up with you so you create a win-win situation for both of them. You have anything else to say last, Jay?
That's it, man.
Man, thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to seeing a picture of you in Hawaii, and I'm also looking forward to more of your successes, guys. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys. See you later, Jay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys want to get into the Alchemy Stones class, I'll leave a link below. The price is changing. We're going to go $1,000 up. So I only got a couple of spots left at the $2,500, $2,497, but it's going to go up. Guys, if you see this video or my past videos and you're like, well, hey, first you started at $2,000. Well, those were the early birds because I was so confident that my system worked that I was willing to bring people like Jay into the club, have them have success, and very soon it's going to be $9,000, and its price is going up. And I got a couple of seats. Once the seats goes up, it's going to go to 3,500, and we're going to be going up, guys. So only 9 people in the 3,500 before the price goes up. I only got a couple more seats at the 2,500. And if you see this video a year from now or 6 months from now, know that the price is going to be going up. Please don't call us and say, why is it up? Well, you should have jumped into it. And if you came in late, dude, the $9,000 is still a great course. I'm gonna change your life. There's a 100% money back guarantee. Who in the industry does a 365-day money back guarantee? I am so confident in my abilities, and I'm so confident I know how to filter the champs from the champs that I'm willing to work for free. I'm willing to put all the money up and take all the burden on my back. That if it doesn't work for you, you can ask a refund, and I'm gonna give you your money back, guys. Okay, that's how I roll at the dojo. If you can't win, I don't want to win. I don't want your money. I don't work for money. I've owned 3 businesses for 14 years. I've made multi-millions. I've given it all up. I decided to go homeless, and I didn't. I'm not doing this for money. I didn't start this channel for money. I just did it because I want to change people's life. Now I'm working on being a public speaker, and I'm very talented, guys, in entrepreneurship and real estate investing. Not what you hear from your average guys. It's all through creativity, all through imagination. The stuff that took me 20 years of never ever having a job, no resume, no traffic, no cubicle, no yes sir, no sir, never borrowing money from credit card, never borrowing money from a parent or a stinky banker. Just did it through sheer